What is up, math class? It's Mr. Ohashi here, and we are on day 19 of your online video lesson. Today, we're going to learn about the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. And no, we're not talking about shoes. Converse means something in math. So, have your notes out. We are going to take notes today, and then your assignment is on Pearson Realize. All right, I've got a problem set for you guys. If you can't remember how to get on Pearson Realize, I put a link to the video on how to get on it down below, so check that out. So you guys ready to learn how to do this stuff? Okay, let's go! Okay, before we take notes, I want to talk a little bit about what the word converse means. So, if we have an if-then statement, the converse is when you take the two parts and switch them around. I'll give you an example. If a number is even, then the number ends in 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. And that's a true statement, right? Because any even number ends in either a 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Like 24. 24 is even, and 24 ends in 4. Okay? But that's an if-then statement. The converse is when you take these two and you switch them around. If the number ends in 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, then the number's even. All right, so the converse is when you switch those two parts around. Okay, now it's important to note that the converse of a statement isn't always true. I'll give you an example. If I am Mr. Ohashi, then I am a genius. Now that's a true statement, because if I'm Mr. Ohashi, that's me, then I'm a genius, which I am. But take a look at the converse of this statement. So I'm going to switch these around. If I am a genius, then I'm Mr. Ohashi. Now that is not necessarily a true statement, because if I'm a genius, I could be Einstein or Newton or Galileo, not necessarily Mr. Ohashi. So it's important to note that the converse of a statement is not always true. However, the converse of the Pythagorean theorem is true. So let's start with the Pythagorean theorem. You know, if you have a right triangle, then a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That's the Pythagorean theorem. If you have a right triangle, then a squared plus b squared equals c squared. The converse of the Pythagorean theorem is when you switch these two things around. If a squared plus b squared equals c squared, then you have a right triangle. And that actually is a true statement. And this is how we test to see if a triangle is a right triangle. We try out a squared plus b squared equals c squared. If that actually works, then you know you have a right triangle. And that's what the converse of the Pythagorean theorem is all about. All right? So now let's take out our notes. We're going to be on page 3, the top of page 3, where it says the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. The converse of the Pythagorean theorem is if a squared plus b squared equals c squared, then you have a right triangle. Okay? And that's our way to test if something is a right triangle or not. Now, it's important when you set it up that when you put the numbers in here to test it out, C is your hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is always the longest side. So always make sure when you're given 3 sides, C is the longest side. I'll give you an example. Example 1, will it form a right triangle? So you got 3 sides here, 3 centimeters, 4 centimeters, 5 centimeters. Which side's the longest? Obviously 5 is the longest, so that's got to be your C. All right, so when we set this up, we're going to see if 3 squared plus 4 squared, does it equal, I'm going to put a little question mark over the equal, does it equal 5 squared? Well, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, 5 squared is 25, I'll keep that little question mark above it, 9 plus 16 is 25, and hey, it really does equal 25. A squared plus b squared really does equal c squared. So will those 3 sides form a right triangle? Yes, they will. They will form a right triangle. We know that because a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Let's do a second example. Example 2, will it form a right triangle? 2 inches, 9 inches squared is 78 inches. Now, one of the first things you have to know is which side's the longest. And immediately you look at square root of 78. 78's a big number. But the side isn't 78. The side's the square root of 78. And if I was going to use my calculator, the square root of 78 is actually 8.8. That isn't the longest side. On this triangle, 9 is the longest side. So that has to be our C. So be careful on some of these problems because I won't always put the side lengths in order. You're going to have to figure out which one's the long one. This one initially might look like it's longer, but when you do the math, it's actually not the longest one. 9 is. All right, let's test it out. 2 squared plus square root of 78 squared equals, well, we don't know if it equals, so I'll put a question mark, equals 9 squared. And that's what we're trying to see. 2 squared is 4. The square root of 78 squared, remember squaring and square rooting onto each other, so we just end up with 78, equals, with a question mark, 81. All right, let's see. 4 plus 78 is 82. Oh, it doesn't equal. So we'll put a little slash through the equal sign. They're not equal. So will it form a right triangle? No, it's not gonna. It's close, but it is not gonna be a right triangle. All right. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to use the converse of the Pythagorean theorem to see if the triangle is a right triangle or not. If a squared plus b squared really does equal c squared, then you know it's a right triangle. If a squared plus b squared doesn't equal c squared, then you know it's not a right triangle. Don't forget, today's assignment is on Pearson Realize. If you have any questions or you need help, feel free to email me or message me. But with that being said, good luck on today's assignment, and I will see you next time.